Good evening, all. Welcome to today's Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself, Annie Jose from Community Outreach Team of ZenOnco.io and Love Hills Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks helps cancer survivors and caregivers to share their journey with vast number of survivors and caregivers who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. This can inspire and motivate them for their faster recovery as well. Firstly, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Tina. She is a melanoma caregiver. So, welcome to today's session, Tina. So can you start with a small introduction of yours? Sorry, small introduction.
Yep, I'm Tina Montague. I live in the United Kingdom. I'm a professional caregiver. I specialise in cancer care. Following the loss of my daughter to melanoma 5 years ago, I retrained and now I just specialise in cancer care.
Okay, so what were her symptoms and how did she got diagnosed with melanoma?
She was diagnosed, she'd just given birth to her second child, and she had a lump under her arm, which we thought was mastitis from breastfeeding. So there was no urgent, it was just like antibiotics initially. It wasn't until she had the biopsy that they realized it was black and it's melanoma. And a CT scan then revealed that she was stage 4 and terminal.
Okay, so how was the family's first reaction when you guys got to know that she's diagnosed with cancer?
Oh, it was horrendous. I can't describe it. It was just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. So what all treatment she underwent for her cancer?
She tried some chemo tablets. It was beyond surgery. And she was terminal virtually immediately because of stage 4. And the chemo tablets initially did reduce all the melanoma inside her body. But then it started to go the other way and started to escalate it very quickly until it went onto her brain.
Okay. So did you guys try any alternative treatment like naturopathy, Ayurveda, any such sort of treatment?
Her partner tried her on RSO oil, but we weren't very knowledgeable in that area. And I've since found out that RSO oil is better absorbed through the rectum, so it doesn't give you the high.
All right. So as a caregiver, how did you control your emotional, burst out? And who was your support system throughout?
I didn't really have a support system. I had a couple of really good friends. I was single at the time. My main support was alcohol, to be fair. I'm not going to lie.
How was your experience? The family's experience with the doctors and the other medical staff.
Okay. Because it was my profession to care for people, palliative care anyway, I was very knowledgeable, which actually was not the best thing because I knew what was going to happen. She spent the last 3 weeks in a hospice where she received very good care, and I was allowed to stay with her every night. But I would say that the consultants at the hospice were very non-compassionate. It was very factual that, we're going to put the syringe driver in, blah, blah, blah. And if your child's lying there dying, you just do not really want, you don't want that to happen. You keep them, whatever.
Yeah. So there might be times, right, like when you feel that you are really overwhelmed and you still don't want to give up. So what were those things that help you motivated? Keep you motivated?
Nowadays, I rebuilt my own business just to help people with cancer. That's how I move forward now. Because unfortunately, 2 years after Stacey died, I lost my son as well. in a road traffic accident. So now I just dedicate my time to helping people with a cancer diagnosis or following a trauma or a loss, with distraction therapies, horses, you know, just a bit of a support network for them, because I didn't have that support network. I know how important it is.
Yeah, that's really great. And do you work full time?
I work as and when I have clients that need me. I've just recently saved somebody in the UK from a neglected care home with cancer, who was being neglected, and I managed to get him moved to a private funded bed so he could spend the rest of his days with near me and near his family. I think that's going into the national newspapers today in England.
All right. So what will be your message to cancer patients and caregivers out there?
Don't panic and take what the oncologists tell you is your only option. Research into more, you know, natural therapies, natural things, and just try and get as much help as you can. There are people like me out there that will help for nothing. And I think the issue at the moment, post-COVID, or whilst we're still in COVID, is that cancer patients aren't being monitored enough. So the decline can be so quick that they're not getting the adequate drugs or the DNARs in place in time. So people are suffering rather than, you know, having everything set out in an advanced care plan, which is what I would do with people, is make a care plan for their wishes.
Yeah. So how do you think they can overcome their fears of treatment during their cancer journey?
I think everybody reacts differently to the thought of treatment. It's an individual choice. Personally, I would try an alternative rather than chemo, but that's my personal opinion. Everybody's different. It is scary. It's going to be scary, isn't it? I think it's going to be scary for anybody.
Yeah. So do you think support groups can be beneficial when it comes to cancer treatment?
Yeah, I do. I do. I do that. I try and link people together so that they have got each other to talk to, because it's a bit like child loss. You don't understand something until it's happening to you.
Yeah. So what do you think about the stigmas attached to the cancer and the importance of awareness regarding the stigmas?
The stigma surrounded by cancer.
Yeah, so there are various kind of stigmas, right? Like regarding breast cancer, even now the ladies are not ready to speak about it. So like, what do you think about the importance of awareness to the public so that they talk about it in the right time and get the right treatment?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any stigma attached to cancer at all, whether you smoke or whether it's cervical cancer, whatever it is, there shouldn't be. But what happens is people are afraid to speak out because other people don't know how to respond to them once they've been diagnosed. And also you'll find that the patient will become depressed from that diagnosis and isolated, very isolated, because people spread out. They don't come to you unless they've got a kind of nature like me. Yeah, it's a very isolating time and very depressing for anyone, I think.
Yeah. So thank you, Tina, for your valuable time with us today. So I'm sure that the session will really motivate people out there who are traveling or being traveled through this journey. So thank you so much once again.
That's okay. Brilliant.
Thank you.